Well, it's welcome that there are some improvements, and of course that's a tribute to some of the hard-working staff in Partridge Court, and there are clearly some good things that happen in the care home. However, there are serious worries, particularly over the care which the Care Quality Commission is asking for a major improvement, and also regarding medical records. And I raised the issue of Partridge Care Home in the House of Commons this week with the Health Minister. I've also had a short meeting with him. I have another meeting with him very shortly, and we're actually bringing Mrs. Minchin, who you featured in your programme, to talk about the problems of Partridge Care Home, and the Minister has promised me that he is going to look at the latest report.
See, I can't help but feel a little uncomfortable that everything seems to be taking a long time. We're talking about something a year or so ago, but you mentioned yourself that the home was in the Last Chance Saloon, and now we get this report. I mean, you have to question how many bars there are in the Last Chance Saloon.
Well, this is what we will be discussing with the Minister when we meet him very shortly. And I agree with you. There have been one report after another that have raised significant worries. This report does show some improvements, and we have to acknowledge that. But nevertheless, there are concerns over care and concerns over medical records. But for me personally, as a constituency MP, this is something that has been going on since last year when I first raised the case of Mrs. Minchin and her mother with the care home and with Essex Council. I believe that the Minister said to me he's going to look at the full report, which is published next week. We've only seen the excerpts now, and he needs to take action with Essex Council to make a decision once and for all as to what should happen with Partridge Care Home.
I understand you've been able to make contact with Rushcliffe Care, the owners of the home. What have they had to say?
Yes, I've contacted Rushcliffe Care because I believe that they should come to Harlow to do a full public meeting with residents and relatives. I had a reply. It was it didn't say very much. It said that there is one residents' meeting next Thursday, which I'm going to at the home. But I believe that Rushcliffe Care Home needs to be much more open and publish the internal report that the BBC Essex highlighted earlier in the week, and they need to hold a full public meeting and seriously answer the questions and go through all the 5 Care Quality Commission reports so they can alleviate concerns for local residents.
Should a time limit be put on this? We've got a situation of people still living in the home, and they're living in basically a failing home, with Essex County Council not referring people there, so it would seem to many that it's not fit for purpose.
Well, this is what I think the Minister will decide over the next week or so once he sees the full copy of the Care Quality Commission report, and the decision needs to be made soon. Nevertheless, we must be clear, there are some good things that happen in the home. I've had, whilst I've had a number of serious problems from residents, I've also had a resident who's written to me who's